Hello everyone and welcome to the February 7 game between the Windsor Raiders and the Granby Bears. I'm Chris Saunders along with cameraman Mark Bumbard bringing you tonight's ball game courtesy of Granby Community Cable Television. And Granby Athletic Director Brian Maltesi will be giving us the starting lineups in just a moment. Well, it looks like one of the players will actually be doing that tonight. So that was Liam Heinz. An important reminder about sportsmanship here at the high school. For the Windsor Raiders, Calvin Ampofo averaging 4.8 points per game, number 23. Jimmy Papapietro is the other starter, number 13, averaging a little over 2 points per game. And Luke Hosley averaging 6 points per game, number 10. Caden Saavedra averaging almost 8 points per game, starting guard for Windsor Locks, number 3. And number 33, Victor Trinidad, averaging 9 per game. So John Bell averaging 4 per game, number 4, starting at guard. Aiden Goudreau, number 10, starting at forward. Cam Deere starting at guard, averaging 4 per game. Jack DeGray averaging 11.5 points per game, number 24, starting at forward. And Rowan Heinz, averaging 12 per game, is the other starter up front for Granby. This game is being played at the Kenny King Memorial Gym here at Granby High School. So the visiting Windsor Raiders come in with a record of 5 wins and 9 losses. They ended up winning their last ball game versus East Granby this week. Victor Trinidad's their leading scorer, averaging 17 per game, or I'm sorry, against East Granby rather. Victor Trinidad was their leading scorer with 17. Caden Saavedra had 11, and Elijah Ortega and Luke Holsey each scored 8. The coaches for Windsor Locks are Dan Copes as head coach, and Orlando Saavedra, Zach Wiegert, and Brian Cooper as the assistants. The Granby Bears coming in with a record of 9-6. They've lost their last 3 ball games, 2 of them out of league and 1 in league. The last game was against Farmington, an out-of-league, a tough opponent. So Granby is looking to rebound tonight. They're coached by Wally Hansen and assistants Mike Dombrowski and Charles Okwando. We're ready for the start of tonight's game. And Granby is lined up to our left, Windsor Locks in the dark maroon to our right. Here's Victor Trinidad and Heinz at center jump. Controlled by Windsor Locks. Here's a shot that's no good by Snowden, and it's up and in. For a basket, Windsor Locks takes a 2-0 lead. So I have to correct what I was saying. Windsor Locks is on the left of your screen, and this is Granby on the right. There's Rowan Heinz going baseline, kicks it back outside to Bell, to DeGray, back to Heinz, to Bell, in the corner to Deere, to DeGray, to Bell, to Deere again. There's a shot by Deere, no good. Rebound to Granby, DeGray to Heinz for a three-pointer. That is off the rim, no good. And the rebound by Windsor Locks. This is Saavedra. Papapetro now outside to Ampofo. To Saavedra, drives the lane, puts up a shot, and it's blocked by Bell, but rebounded by Trinidad. His shot is no good, and Rowan Heinz comes down with it for Granby. Here's a fast break for Granby. Here's Cam Deere with a shot, no good. DeGray with a follow-up, no good, and Saavedra comes down with it for Windsor Locks. Saavedra goes in for a layup that is around and off the rim. Rebound put up and in by Victor Trinidad. Windsor Locks leads 4-0. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Here's Bell in the corner to Heinz. Heinz drives, goes in for a running shot that is no good. And Windsor Locks comes down with the ball. Here's Ampofo. Driving the lane, pulls up, outside it goes to Trinidad, shot is no good, and the rebound taken down by Goudreau. Here's a shot by DeGray, no good, and again Windsor Locks with the rebound. As Caden Saavedra brings it across the midcourt line. To Papapetro, back to Saavedra, here's Trinidad from the outside, and he sinks it. A three-pointer for Victor Trinidad. Here's a layup by DeGray that's no good, and Trinidad comes down with the rebound. And Pofo with the ball for Windsor Locks. Drives, and he's going to be called for travel as he was tied up momentarily and then took the extra step. So Granby down 7-0 with 4:45 left in the first quarter. Still have not gotten on board here. Here's Bell. DeGray looking at the three, decides to pop it back out to Goudreau. Inside to Heinz, and his shot is rejected by Trinidad. Here's a pass underneath again to Heinz from DeGray, and Heinz is fouled. And I believe they're calling that foul on Victor Trinidad. That would be his first, the first of the game. 7-0. Windsor Locks on top, 4:29 left in the first quarter. Rowan Heinz hits the first. And Heinz has another one coming. It's good. So Rowan Heights gets Granby on the scoreboard, 7-2. Windsor Locks on top. It's a long cross-court pass to Pofo to Saavedra. In the corner, it goes back out to Snowden, who turns and misses, and the rebound grabbed off by Bell for Granby. Quickly up court to DeGray, looking for three, and he sinks it. Jack DeGray with his three-pointer pulls Granby within two. Ball is kicked and picked up by Goudreau. Here's DeGray from three again, and he hits it. So Jack DeGray hitting on 2 3-pointers puts Granby out on top, 8-7. So after a slow start, the Bears were shut out for almost 4 minutes of the quarter and came roaring back with a couple of foul shots by Rowan Heights and then Jack DeGray's 2 threes. So we're now at 8-7 with Granby now on top. So that was a mighty fast turnaround. We have 3:50 left in the first quarter. And Windsor Locks will inbound. Sam Pofo bringing it up to Elijah Ortega, who just checked in for Windsor Locks. Ortega gets it across the midcourt line and gets it back to Mpofo. Here's a running shot by Mpofo that is no good. Heights battling with the rebound. And it looks like we're going to have a jump on that. And it will be, they're going to be awarding that first tie jump to Granby. 8-7, 3:30 left in the first quarter. Joshua Brown and Justin Phillips have checked in for Granby. They're both at the guards. This is Phillips, number 3. Puts up a jump that is good. Justin Phillips with a little firepower off the bench, and Granby is now on top 11-7, and we have a traveling violation called on Elijah Ortega. So Granby will get the ball underneath their own basket. Here's Heinz for a three-pointer that is off the rim, no good. Disabella tipped it, but it goes to Windsor Locks. Here's a shot that is no good by Ortega. The ball's out of bounds, and it will be Windsor Locks' ball. Inbounds underneath is stolen by Rowan Heinz. Heinz throws it outside to Phillips for a three-pointer, no good. Jack DeGray with the rebound. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul. I think that foul was called on Victor Snowden. Kind of hard to tell from up here, but it will be Granby ball underneath. Here's a pass underneath from Phillips to Heinz. Heinz now with 4 points. Saavedra underneath to Mpofo, who scores for Windsor Locks, and it's 13-9, Granby on top, 2:30 left in the first quarter. Here's Jack DeGray going in for the shot. That is good. DeGray now with 8 points, leads all scorers. On the inbounds, the pass is kicked around, and coming down with it, underneath to Trinidad for the layup that is good. Victor Trinidad now with 7. DeGray to Brown, back to DeGray. Here's Heinz. Drives, goes in for the shot, partially blocked. And this will be a shot, foul on Bahari Snowden. Unofficially, that's his second. Since Rowan Heinz was shooting, he will go to the foul line for 2 shots. And the first one is good. Heinz now with 5 points on the evening. And he has one more coming. And it's good. Rowan Heinz now has 6 points. Granby on top 17-11. A minute 56 left in the first quarter. Here's Ortega going in for the shot. That is no good, but we have a whistle and a foul. It looks like they're going to be calling that on Rowan Heinz. That's his first foul on Granby. So Elijah Ortega will go to the line for Windsor Locks. First one is off the rim. Ortega had 8 points in that win against East Granby earlier this week. And the second one is good. So 1 out of 2 for Windsor Locks, 17-12 with a minute 50 left in the second quarter. Here's Disabella throwing to Heinz. Throws back outside for a long three. That is good. Rowan Heinz to Liam Heinz, who came off the bench for the three-pointer. 20-12, Granby on top. Here's Trinidad, pulls up for a jump in the lane. That is good. Trinidad now with 9 points. Here's Disabella. A minute 20 left, first quarter. Leon Heinz into Rowan Heinz for a reverse layup. That is good. Rowan Heinz with 8 now, 22-14. Just over a minute left in the first quarter. Granby on top. And Pofo brings it up for Locks. Here's Ortega. He slips, loses his footing, and he's going to be called for travel. Here's Phillips bringing it up for Granby. To Liam Heinz. Back to Phillips, who pulls up for three. It's off the back of the rim, no good, and Trinidad comes down with the rebound. Fast break for Windsor Locks. Here's a layup by Mpofo that is around the rim, no good. Gets his own rebound, goes up, and puts it in. Great second effort by Calvin Mpofo. He now has 4. 22-16, Granby on top. 24 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's DeGray pulling up for a three-pointer that's off the rim. Comes down to Phillips, throws it outside to Liam Heinz for a three-point attempt. That is good. Liam Heinz. And we have a foul on the play. And it looks like that foul is going to be on Liam Heinz. That is his first. Here's Ortega with 7 seconds left. Goes in, turns, jumps. It's no good. And Deere comes down with the rebound at the end of the quarter. So after a slow start, the Granby Bears have come roaring back with 25 points in the first quarter. And they've been led by Rowan Heinz and Jack DeGray with 8 points apiece. Liam Heinz has 2 3-pointers for a total of 6. And Justin Phillips has 2 points to round out the scoring for Granby. For Windsor Locks, we have Victor Trinidad with 9, Calvin Mpofo 4, and Elijah Ortega with 1. We have another basket that I missed somewhere. I'll try to get that for us at halftime. Find out who to give credit to for that basket. So it's 25-16. Windsor Locks held Granby scoreless almost to the 4-minute mark in the first quarter, and Granby just poured it on with a couple of three-pointers. DeGray hit a couple of threes, Liam Heinz hit a couple of threes, and all of a sudden they were on fire the last 4 minutes of that quarter. So a real nice run for the Granby Bears for the second part of that first quarter. Here's Saavedra inbounding to Mpofo. Back to Saavedra. Here's Ortega. Ortega tries to get it inside. It's knocked around. Mpofo comes down with it. The shot is no good, but he was fouled on the play in the act of shooting. I'm not sure who that was against. We're up here on the balcony at Granby High School. It's a little hard sometimes to see that from the back of the official. And Mpofo hits on a foul shot. He now has 5. And Calvin Mpofo makes the second. 25-18 with 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Granby's on top. Here's Disabella for Granby. Here's Liam Hines from the corner, and he hits another 3. Liam Hines has come off the bench hitting on 3 3-pointers. He now has 9 on the night and leads all Granby scoring. So here's Trinidad being guarded by Hines. Trinidad turnaround jump is off the rim, no good. Battle for the ball, and Snowden comes down with it for Windsor Locks. Back out to Ortega. They'll try it again. 28-18. Granby on top. Here's Snowden. Pulls up. Jump. Rims the basket, comes out, but it's knocked out of bounds by Granby, I believe. I think that went off Josh Brown. It did, so it will be Windsor Locks ball. 6.5 left in the second quarter. Here's Trinidad for a 3 that's no good, and Liam Hines comes down with the rebound to Disabella. Disabella throws it to Brown, and it's knocked out of bounds. So for Granby, Ralph Rossi, a sophomore, checks in, number 32, and Jack DeGray, number 24, is back in for Granby. Here's Liam Hines. Here's DeGray. And his pass is taken away by Saavedra. Saavedra drives the lane. His shot is partially blocked, and it's knocked out of bounds by Calvin Mpofo trying to get that rebound, and Granby will get the ball. John Bell is going to check in for Granby, replacing Josh Brown. And Brown bringing the ball up now for the Bears. Here's Brown going in for layup. That is rejected. I think Trinidad's the one who got a hand on that. Here's Mpofo for Windsor Locks. Goes all the way down the court with a pretty layup that is no good. Rebound Snowden, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul. I think that foul is being called on DeGray. It was in the act of shooting, so Vahari Snowden will go to the foul line. 28-18, 5:48 left in the second quarter. Snowden hits the first. And for Granby, Aiden Goodrow comes in. And he's replacing Ralph Rossi, Goodrow number 10. Snowden's second shot comes out, but Trinidad is there for the rebound. And it's 28-21. Trinidad with a nice bucket underneath. Granby on top. Here's Bell. Throws it to Goodrow. DeGray, back outside to Goodrow. Fakes a shot. Now throws to Cam Deere, who's back in. And they'll start it over again. Here's DeGray with a long jump, rims the basket. Windsor Locks comes down with it. Here's Snowden going in for a layup that is no good and a foul. I think that one was called on DeGray. So Bahari Snowden goes back to the line. He's 1 for 2 there. And he makes the first one. Rowan Heinz back in for Granby. He's replacing Liam Heinz. And Snowden has another one coming. And he makes it. So Bahari Snowden with 3 points, all on foul shots, 28-23. Granby on top, 5:12 left in the second quarter. Here's DeGray. His pass is knocked away by Impofo and it goes out of bounds. Nice steal by Impofo. Just a little too much English on it and it went out of bounds. Here's Bell, who's going to inbound for Granby to DeGray. Here's Cam Deere to Heinz. Heinz pulls up for a jump that is short, and Impofo comes down with the rebound. Elijah Ortega back in for Windsor Locks. Number 2, he has the ball for them at this point. Drives the lane, pulls up for a jump that is no good. Rebound Snowden underneath, no good. Ball's loose. Granby comes down with it. That's Bell. Ahead to DeGray. DeGray underneath to Cam Deere, and his shot is blocked. Nice rejection. And we have Dylan Disabella and Justin Phillips. Disabella 5, Phillips 3, entering for Granby. Phillips will inbound. Throws outside to DeGray, back to Phillips, back to DeGray. Here's cross to Heinz. He drives, reverse layup that is no good, and we have a foul on Victor Trinidad. Unofficially, that's Trinidad's second foul, and Rowan Heinz goes to the foul line. He has 8 points on the evening. Bounces around a couple times and finally drops out. Heinz had been perfect on the night at the foul line. He was previously 4 for 4. Rowan Heinz with the second attempt. That one is good. So Rowan Heinz now with 9 points. Granby on top 29-23. 4 minutes, 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We have a Granby foul. Couldn't see who that was against. Granby now with 6. Here's Ortega pulling up for a jump. No good. Heinz with the rebound. To Phillips. Back to Heinz. Goes in on the lane, and he's going to be called for travel. 1 step too many. So Windsor Locks will inbound under the basket. Granby employing a press. And Impofo inbounds to Trinidad to Saavedra. Fast break for Windsor Locks. Underneath to Snowden for a layup that is no good. Ortega comes down with the rebound and is going to bring it back out. Here's Impofo to Ortega. Windsor Locks looking to run a play here. Ortega to Impofo, who drives the lane with a layup that is good. What a nice shot by Calvin Impofo, breaking through 4 defenders to put that layup in. Here's Bell underneath to Heinz for a layup that's good. Good ball movement from Bell to Heinz, 31-25. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Granby is on top. Windsor Locks with the ball. Saavedra throws to Snowden, turnaround jump. No good, and Disabella comes down with the rebound for Granby. Here's Bell to Heinz. Heinz driving. His shot is knocked away, and we're going to have a foul. I think they're calling that on Trinidad. But Heinz will go to the foul line. Granby on top 31-25. Rowan Heinz 4 for 5 from the line thus far. First one is off the rim. He has one more coming. And Rowan Heinz sits on the second foul shot. He now has 12 on the evening. Puts Granby up by 7. Here's Saavedra, back to Trinidad, to Impofo. In the corner to Saavedra, underneath to Snowden for a layup that is good, and he is fouled. Yes, and it counts. Nice move underneath by Calvin Impofo, and he will, or I'm sorry, that was Bahari Snowden underneath, and he is at the line now for a foul shot. It's good. Bahari Snowden now with 6 points. Granby lead cut to 4. Here's DeGray going to Phillips inside for a layup that is good. Beautiful pass and shot by Granby. Here's Trinidad ahead of the field, puts up a layup, no good. And Liam Heinz comes down with the rebound. To Rowan Heinz, who drives the lane for a layup that is around, no good. And Snowden comes down with the rebound for Locks. Here's Ortega, 2 minutes left in the second quarter, 34-28, Granby on top. Saavedra drives and puts up a jump, no good. And Liam Heinz comes with the rebound. Here's Phillips for a 3, no good. And Snowden with the rebound. And Pofo to Ortega to Trinidad. Here's Ampofo driving, puts up a shot, no good. Rowan Heinz with the rebound. DeGray leading the charge. Here's Liam Heinz with a running left-hander that is good. Liam Heinz now with 11 points for Granby. And he tips the pass on the inbounds, puts up a layup, no good, and Ortega with the rebound from Windsor Locks. And we have a whistle and a foul. That'll be on Liam Heinz. 1:04 left in the second quarter. 36-28, Granby on top. Well, wait a minute. They must have just called that ball as an out of bounds. So there is no foul called on that, and Granby has the ball. Here's Justin Phillips for Granby. Phillips pulls up for 3. That is no good. So Windsor Locks will take over. Dylan Disabella checks in for Granby, replacing Justin Phillips, who just made that nice layup a minute ago. And Windsor Locks will inbound. Here's Impofo to Ortega, to Saavedra. Now to number 13, Jimmy Papapetro, who misses. And Disabella comes with the rebound. Quickly up court to DeGray. Here's Liam Heinz for a 3. Rims the basket, comes out, and Ortega rebounds for Windsor Locks. 26 seconds left in the second quarter. Saavedra drives the lane. kicks it back outside. I'm sorry, that kicks it outside to Saavedra, who misses the shot. DeGray comes down with the rebound, brings it down the lane, shot is no good. Rebound tipped around, and Papapetro comes down with it. Ball is loose, Granby gets it, and that is the end of the first half, ending with a little bit of a scramble. So at the half, we have Granby 36 and Windsor Locks 28. So in the scoring, Windsor Locks scored 16 in the first quarter and then 12 in the second for their total of 28. Unofficially, we have Calvin El Pofo with 8, Victor Trinidad with 11, and Bahari Snowden with 6 for the 28 points for Windsor Locks. For the Granby Bears, after a blistering first quarter scoring 25 points, they were held to 11 points in the second quarter. So Coach Dan Copes of Windsor Locks came up with something to start shutting down the attack here from Granby. And the scoring for Granby, Justin Phillips with 2 hoops for 4. Liam Heinz came off the bench for 11 points tonight thus far. Rowan Heinz with 12, and Jack DeGray 8. So at halftime, it is 36-28. The Granby Bears out on top. And we're now looking at the Granby cheerleaders. We're ready to start the second half of the February 7th Granby Bears versus the Windsor Locks Raiders at Granby High School. It's 36-28 at halftime. Granby's on top. And a correction on the scoring. The basket that I missed in the beginning of the game was Victor Trinidad, so he has a total of 13 points. Granby gets the ball to start the second half. Here's Bell to DeGray, back to Bell, outside Gray. Heinz drives, layup, good. Rowan Heinz now with 14 points. Saavedra trying to get it to Snowden. It's tipped. Rowan Heinz comes down with it for Granby. Rowan Heinz throws to DeGray in the corner, to Gaudreau, back to DeGray. A 3, that's good. Jack DeGray with a 3-pointer. He now has 11. Granby has scored the first 5 points of the second half. Ball is kicked unintentionally by Granby, but it'll go to Windsor Locks. Here's Trinidad to Ortega to Saavedra. His pass to Snowden for a jump that is off the rim. Saavedra comes down with it. No good, but he traveled on the play. Rowan Heinz inbounds to Granby. The Bears are ahead 41-28. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Heinz to Gaudreau to Bell. Heinz to Deere, to Gaudreau, to DeGray. DeGray drives the lane, almost loses control of the ball, gets it to Bell, throws it all the way across court to Gaudreau. And here's DeGray for three-point attempt. Off to him, no good, but Heinz with the rebound and puts it through. Nice rebound by Rowan Heinz, who now has 16 points. (43-28). Granby on top. I'm going to have a foul. Looks like that foul was on Cam Deere. Snowden kicks the ball. Goes back to Empofo. To Ortega. Snowden back to Ortega. Looks to go for three. Now hands it back to Snowden, who drives. Puts a shot partially blocked. Rebound underneath by Empofo. No good. Tipped. DeGray comes down with it for Granby. DeGray leading the charge goes in for a layup that is no good, but it's knocked away by Windsor Locks. I think a foul was missed there. It looked like DeGray got slapped on his arm. Nothing called, but nonetheless, Granby gets the ball and gets another shot at it. DeGray inside to Heinz. Here's Goodrow. To Deere, back to Goodrow. Inside to Heinz, who turns to DeGray, to Goodrow. Back to Bell for three. That is short off the rim, and Trinidad with the rebound for Locks. Goes all the way in for a layup that is good. Victor Trinidad going the length of the court. He now has 15 points for Windsor Locks. And we're going to have a travel call. So a turnover for Granby. They're up 43-30 with 5:02 left in the third quarter. Here's Empofo going down the lane for a layup that is good. Calvin Empofo now with 10 points. And we're going to have a timeout. 43-32 with 4:49 left in the third quarter. The Granby Bears on top. Granby came out strong to begin the second half. Rowan Heinz with 3 hoops. He's now got a total of 18 on the night. And Shaq DeGray with the other hoop. Granby started out slowly tonight, being held scoreless for almost the first 4 minutes before pouring on 25 points in the last 4 minutes of the first quarter. But the second quarter, Windsor Locks outscored Granby 12-11. But the Bears fired up from halftime, have outscored Windsor Locks 8-4 to begin this third quarter. The Raiders will, or actually the Bears will have the ball. Disabella will inbound for Granby. Bell back to Disabella. Bell guarded by Ortega. Drives. Tries to dump it off to DeGray, and it goes out of bounds. So it'll be Windsor Locks Raiders ball. Calvin Empofo will inbound to Elijah Ortega. Behind the back, but it's stolen by DeGray. Underneath to Bell for a layup that is around and good. John Bell with his first bucket for tonight. Puts Granby on top 45-32. Cam Deere steals the ball. Here's Deere with a long three. Off the rim, no good. Empofo with the rebound for the Raiders. Ortega to Saavedra. Campofo back to Ortega, pulls up for three. That is good. Elijah Ortega with a three-pointer. He now has 4 points on the game. Isabella for Granby, inside to Hines. Hines throws outside to Deere. Deere drives. Here's Bell. Bell drives for a running left-handed shot. That is good. So John Bell with 4 has scored on 2 consecutive possessions for Granby. Here's Snowden looking for Trinidad underneath. Even though it's tipped, it gets to Trinidad and he puts it up and in. Victor Trinidad with 17 points now. 47-37. Just over 3 left in the third quarter. Here's Rowan Hines for Granby. To Bell. Isabella drives the lane with a layup that is blocked by Snowden. And Snowden comes down with the rebound. Nice block by Snowden. Here's Ortega to Saavedra. To Campofo. Back to Ortega. Ortega being guarded by Cam Deere. Here's a three by Campofo that is no good, and Jack DeGray for Granby. Throws down to Cam Deere, a little too much on it, and it goes out of bounds. 47-37, Granby Bears on top, 2:20 left in the third quarter. We have number 12, Joshua Brown, reporting in for Granby, replacing Cam Deere. Or it looks like Josh Bell. Here's a layup by Ortega, no good, and he gets his own rebound. And also we have Liam Hines back in for Granby. Here's a three by Ortega, no good, and Isabella rebounds for Granby. His pass is intercepted by Ortega. Good anticipation on Ortega's part. Layup no good by Campofo, and a foul. Foul on Rowan Hines. And Justin Phillips in for Granby. Number 3 has the ball. Phillips pulls up. Jump no good. Saavedra rebounds. Here's Campofo. Snowden, nice pass to Campofo, cutting. No good. Rebound. Goes back outside to Snowden. His shot no good. Tipped around, and Hines grabs it for Granby. His pass for Phillips is intercepted once again by Ortega. Goes down the lane for a layup that is no good. Partially blocked by Hines. Isabella leading the charge for Granby. Inside to Liam Hines for a layup that is good. Liam Hines now with 13 points. Ortega, shot no good, and Rowan Hines with the rebound for Granby. 49-37. The Granby Bears on top. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Isabella to Hines. To Phillips. Rowan Hines. Working against Snowden, goes in for a layup that's good. Rowan Hines now has 20 points. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. The Raiders likely looking for the last shot of the quarter. Here's Ortega with 7 seconds left. Pulls up for jump. No good. Trinidad in the lane with a rebound that won't go for him. And the rebound by Josh Brown ends the quarter. (51-37). The Granby Bears on top after 3. The Bears scored 15 points in the third quarter to 9 for Windsor Locks. The Bears came out scoring the first 6 of the half. Our totals thus far for Granby: Justin Phillips has 4, John Bell 4, Liam Heinz 13, Rowan Heinz 20, Jack DeGray 11. For the Windsor Locks Raiders, Elijah Ortega has 4, Calvin Impofo has 10, Victor Trinidad leads all Windsor Locks scores with 17, and Vahari Snowden has 6. So a 14-point lead for the Granby Bears as we enter the final quarter of play. Granby in the white uniforms with the maroon lettering, the Windsor Locks Raiders in the maroon uniforms with gold lettering. Windsor Locks will inbound to start the fourth quarter. It's Jimmy Papapetro to Saavedra. Papapetro to Trinidad. Saavedra to Snowden. Snowden puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by Papapetro, puts it up around the rim, no good. And Heinz comes down with it for Granby. His pass, however, has too much on it, and it goes out of bounds. Number 32, Ralph Rossi, checked in prior to that for Granby. He's in at center. Here's Impofo with it for the Raiders. To Saavedra. Snowden being guarded by Rossi. Saavedra for a 3. That won't go for him, and with the rebound, Brown. Brown pulls up for a 3. It's off the rim, no good. Ball's tipped, and Impofo comes away with it. Leads Trinidad for a layup. That is good. Victor Trinidad. Nice looking reverse layup. His 19th point of the evening. Liam Heinz for Granby. To Rowan Heinz, who drives, but it's kicked off his foot. Here's Impofo, who drives the lane and puts it in. Calvin Impofo with 12. 51-41 as Windsor Locks has scored 4 unanswered points here in the fourth quarter. Granby is on top by 10. Here's Bell to Heinz for shot, no good. Rebound tipped around, and it will be Granby ball. Dylan DeSabella coming in, replacing Joshua Brown. 51-41. The Granby Bears on top. 6 minutes left in the ball game. Rowan Heinz to Rossi. Back to Rowan Heinz. Goes in for a layup that rims and comes out. Rossi the rebound out, but tips it in. Ralph Rossi with his second and third effort, his first basket of the evening. Here's Impofo. And we have a foul. Second Granby foul. That's going to be, no, it looks like it. Not sure. It looked like they called it a Windsor Locks player, but Windsor Locks has the ball. So I'm not quite sure how that one worked. It looked like they were calling it. Perhaps it was against Rossi. It looked like they indicated 42, but maybe it was 32 for Granby. At any rate, here's Snowden to Saavedra. Pulls up for a jump. Rims out. Rebound tipped up by Impofo. And DeSabella with the rebound for Granby. Here's Bell. Heinz in the corner. Drives the lane with a running one-hander that is good. Rowan Heinz with 22. 55-41. 5:15 left in the ballgame. Saavedra with a turning move. No good. but he's fouled on the play. Looks like they're calling that foul on Liam Heinz. Saavedra goes to the line, misses the first. He has another one coming. Elijah Ortega checks in for Jimmy Papapetro for Windsor Locks. And Saavedra has another foul shot coming. Rims and out. Rossi with the rebound for Granby. Down court, there's Liam Heinz all alone. Puts up a shot that's no good. Rebound tipped around and Liam Heinz comes back with it. Here's Rowan Heinz driving for the basket. Underneath, his shot is blocked, but he's fouled on the play. That foul is being called on Vihari Snowden, number 42. It was in the act of shooting, so Rowan Heinz goes to the line. He sinks the first one. And makes the second one. Rowan Heinz with 24 points in the ball game. 57-41. Granby on top. 4:50 left in the fourth quarter. And Pofo. Trinidad pulls up for a jump. That is good. Victor Trinidad now goes into the 20s. He now has 21 points on the night. He's had a very good game. Bell for Granby. To Rowan Heinz. Disabella. To Bell. Bell loses the ball, but comes up with it. And in the act of trying to come up with the ball, he ended up trailing. Feet were moving. So it'll be a turnover in Windsor Locks ball. Elijah Ortega for Windsor Locks. To Calvin and Pofo. Back to Ortega. Into the cutting Snowden. His shot is blocked by Rossi, but Rossi's going to be called for a foul. So Vihari Snowden will go to the line. 57-43. Granby's on top. 4:04 left in the ball game. Snowden will be getting 2 shots. He was fouled while shooting. And the first one is no good. Second one around and drops through. Snowden now with 7 points on the evening. And we're going to have a timeout. So Granby has a 13-point lead, 57-44, with 4:04 left in the ball game. Leading scorers thus far for Granby, Rowan Heinz with 24. And for Windsor Locks, Victor Trinidad, 21. So far in this quarter, Granby has scored 4 points, and Windsor Locks has scored 7. So a good start for Locks here in the fourth quarter. They still have some ground to make up here. They trailed at halftime, 36-28. Granby increased their lead in the third quarter, outscoring Windsor Locks by 6. So the Raiders trying to close that gap. So Granby will be inbounding. Dylan Disabella underneath the basket to Heinz. Windsor Locks going into a trapping press, and we're going to have a foul called. Looks like they're going to call, well, let's see what they're going to call it. A little consultation by the referees. Windsor Locks was clapping like it was being called in their favor. Looks like they're going to call Rowan Heinz for a push-off. They are. So the trap works for Windsor Locks, and Caden Saavedra will inbound for them. Ball is tipped, but Ortega comes up with it. Here's Ortega for a layup around the two big guys. Rossi comes down with it for Granby. Here's Rowan Heinz to Disabella. Disabella moves to the basket for a layup that won't go for him. It's spun out. And Ampofo comes down with it for Windsor Locks, puts up a layup that is no good. It was partially blocked at one point, so he put a little extra on it. It just carried up and over the backboard. So Granby will inbound from underneath the basket. Windsor Locks used it. Oh no, I'm sorry, they're switching it now. It's Windsor Locks that will get the ball under the basket. So it must have been, they must have said that it was a Granby player that partially blocked it, which is why it went out of bounds. Here's a jumper from the corner, no good by Snowden, and Bell for Granby to Disabella. Disabella with a nifty pass to Bell, who kicks it back out. Granby wants to play a little bit with the clock. They're up. And it looks like there's going to be a foul. Cam Deere was fouled by Caden Saavedra. A non-shooting foul. Windsor Locks only has 3 fouls, so they have a few to give before entering the penalty situation. Bell drives inside to Heinz, rejected by Snowden. Beautiful defensive play by Bahari Snowden. It will be Granby ball. 57-44, 2:51 left in the fourth quarter. Granby is on top. Disabella for Granby. Bell drives the lane with a layup that is good. John Bell spotted an opening and took advantage of it. He now has 6. Granby with a 15-point lead. Nice pass inside to Snowden. His shot is no good, but he was fouled on the play. That foul is going to be on Cameron Deere. Granby is in the penalty situation. Snowden misses the first. Here's his second attempt. Rims and off, but it goes to Trinidad, who goes for 3. Shot is no good. Rebound, Ampofo underneath. His shot is good, and he was fouled. Yes, and it counts. Calvin Ampofo, now with 14, has a chance to make good on a 3-point play. 2:22 left in the ball game. Granby on top, 59-46. Calvin Ampofo to the line for 1 shot. He makes it. He now has 15. Granby will inbound. Locks again, employing a trapping defense here. And Cam Deere brings it across for Granby. Two minutes left. Granby certainly wants to work the clock down a little bit, and we're going to have a foul. Looks like Bell was fouled by Snowden. Windsor Locks now with 4 fouls in the quarter. Granby is over the limit. They have 8, but Granby is in the lead by 12, 59-47. So those were the Granby Bear cheerleaders during that timeout. 2 minutes, 1 second left in the ball game. Granby on top. Here's Goodrow inbounding to Bell. Bell guarded step by step by Ortega. Here's Deere, and Deere is fouled by Saavedra. Granby will inbound. Here's Goodrow to Bell. Again, being guarded by Ortega. Brings it across. Here's DeGray. I think Granby was expecting a foul call on that, and it wasn't called. Went on court to Deere. But it will be Windsor Locks ball. As the ball went into the backcourt, a violation for Granby, so they turn it over to Windsor Locks. Here's Ampofo to Snowden. Nice turnaround jump, it's no good. And a foul by Granby. 1:24 left in the ball game. Snowden will go to the line. That foul was on Goodrow. So he has 2 shots. He was in the act of shooting. Windsor Locks needs these foul shots. Snowden makes the first one. He now has 8. Justin Phillips replacing Cam Deere for Granby. Rims and comes out. Snowden couldn't get the second one. 1:20 left in the ballgame. Pass up to DeGray. DeGray, his pass is knocked out of bounds by Trinidad. Windsor Locks down by 11 with 1:15 left in the ballgame. So Granby trying to look for a good shot, but also trying to take down some time on the clock. It's in their favor. Couple substitutions. Jamal Addis, I believe Jaden Buckle checked in for Windsor Locks. 1:15 left in the quarter. Oh, we've got a few more subs coming in. Jamari Murrell, number 40. Jimmy Papapetro, number 13, back in. Granby inbounds. This is Bell. Again, Granby trying to work that clock down. They're up by 11. Here's Disabella. He drives the lane, goes in for a layup. That is no good, but he was fouled. Dylan Disabella will go to the foul line. Disabella, the second leading rebounder for Granby, behind Rowan Heights. First one is short. And we're going to have a timeout for some substitutions. Donten Williams, number 23. Noah Crockett, number 15. In for Granby. Shot off the front of the rim, no good. There's a jumper that is no good. Rebounded by Granby. Here's Phillips, 35 seconds left in the ball game. Phillips to Crockett from the corner, no good. Rebound saved underneath by Williams. Ball is loose, Williams gets it back. And let's see what we've got called on this. Got a little interesting down at that end. The ball was all over the place. Nice effort by Dante Williams. He's a junior. So Justin Phillips inbounding for Granby. To Williams. Williams guarded by Ortega. To Phillips underneath. It goes to Daquan Lynch, a sophomore, for his first basket of the evening. Shot by Buckle is no good. We have 5 seconds left. Granby on top, 61-48. So I believe this is Jadon Buckle. I have a few number 35s. It's either that or Joe Sissom or Jaheim Thomas. So it's one of those three going to the line. First shot is good. And the second one is good. 4 seconds left. Ball is picked off by Ortega, and I don't believe shot will not count by Papa Petro. So Granby ends up with the win tonight. Windsor Locks outscored Granby in the fourth quarter, 13-10, but not enough to overcome an earlier deficit. So the Windsor Locks Raiders fought a tough one tonight. Their record now drops to 5 wins and 10 losses. The Granby Bears, with their win, now move to 10-6. We thank you for tuning in to Granby Community Television. We hope to bring you some more future telecasts of Granby Bears basketball, both boys and girls. I'm Chris Saunders, and special thanks to Mark Bombard, our cameraman, for this evening.